pleasant day to everyone. Welcome to Online. I'm Jerry Liao. Cloud computing and big data techniques are changing the way we collect, analyze, store, and use data. At the same time, new challenges are emerging that somewhat prevents the full implementation of cloud and big data in the corporate world. Let us examine what these challenges are and let us determine the solutions on how to overcome all this. To tell us more about cloud and big data, joining us is the President of Global Science and Technology Forum, Dr. Anton Ravindran. Dr. Anton, welcome to Online.
Thank you very much, Jerry.
Okay, first of all, we'd like to ask you to tell our audience what exactly is cloud computing?
Well, cloud computing actually is a new paradigm that has existed over the last 5-6 years at least. Of course, it has a history over the years where we started with mainframes to distributed computing to client-server architecture. Now we have arrived at cloud. Essentially, the vision is cloud to become the fifth utility. Basically, that means infinite amount of scalability, infinite amount of processing power and capacity. The benefits of cloud is obviously a couple of things. It's in terms of elasticity, in terms of scalability, is unprecedented. In the vision, as I said, is to be like electricity today. You know, where we have, it comes from a grid, from solar power, wherever it is, nobody really cares. You plug in, you consume. Similarly, processing power should come to a state where we just plug in from any device, from anywhere, anytime, and we consume that.
You mentioned a lot of advantages with cloud. You mentioned cost reduction, you mentioned scalability and flexibility, but I'm sure you're aware that one of the prime consideration of people or corporations in adopting cloud computing is actually security. So based on your expertise and based on your experience, can you really say that cloud is secure?
Indeed, when any system becomes open, naturally we're going to face challenges with regards to both privacy and security. And that is one of the key sensitivities that both organizations and governments have to deal with. On the other hand, I would also look at it slightly different, that for small and medium enterprises in particular, security actually at a data center is more reliable because there is a dedicated team to handle your data.
Right. But if you're going to weigh the pros and cons of having your data in cloud as against the security concerns, would you say that it's worth putting your data and your application in the cloud, despite the risk that you just mentioned?
Sure. What is happening is a hybrid model at this juncture.
Okay.
That means that you bring together public and private. Countries are regulated, that financial markets, you do not have a cloud outside the country, outside of your geographies. Companies, even each individual organization may decide which is very data sensitive, secure information that you may reside in your own private cloud. And then you may do those applications, deploy those applications that is not essentially very data sensitive, information sensitive, secure. You may seek out to put that in a public cloud. So you have a hybrid model which mitigates the challenges that we are dealing with.
So another concern that our viewers might have is because of the structured data, how do you really analyze all this data? Is it really possible analyzing all this data?
Indeed. Today we have structured data which has existed for long, and then we came with unstructured data which is again driven by the social media. The fact that when we get into Internet of Things, all of this is going to be in a heterogeneous environment. And the technology has evolved to a state where we can deal with all of them at this juncture already. And on Internet of Things, for instance, to highlight, if you go into Google today, we key in some information, basically we type in some information. In the future, we should be able to go, and technology is getting that way. You go in and tell Google, where is my key? Where is my car key? And Google should be able to search that car key for you. Because there is a sensor on your car key, there is a wireless connection to that, and you should be able to identify that. The reason I say that is to demonstrate the fact that structured data, unstructured data is not impediment towards this move of data analytics.
How about the learning curve? I mean, you've mentioned a lot of things in the future, this will happen. For companies, will the learning curve be different or will be difficult for us to adopt this?
That's a good question, Jerry. Sure, there is a learning curve because the complexities involved in these three key technologies.
Okay.
Cloud is relatively new. 5 years, of course, it has been evolving over the decades, but we are at an inflection point even on cloud. Secondly, the big data and the business analytics are advancing quite rapidly. And the last part, of course, leading towards Internet of Things, smart devices, sensors. So there is an amalgamation of technologies involved, and that would require different sets of skills.
Okay.
You would need cloud experts, systems experts, network experts, security experts, data scientists, business analytics, even on the hardware side, sensors, etc. So naturally, there is a greater demand and need at this point to fully leverage from the technologies that has been unfolded. So that means we need education, we need training, we need awareness, we also need regulations.
And this is exactly basically what your company is doing right now. You're providing training to people who wants to know more about cloud and big data.
Yes.
So out of curiosity, why did you choose the Philippines to have all this training?
The reason is Philippines is interesting to me. One, as we both know that in ASEAN's context and even in a global context, to me, and I'm sure you would agree, that Philippines is a remarkably successful story in the BPO scene, particularly on the voice segment. In fact, they are probably considered the leaders in the world on the voice segment for the BPO market. Now, I think there are certain initiatives that also interest me in Philippines. The government-led task force for open data, the consortium or the governing body called Analytica. All of this is a sign that the government, the public sector, the private sector are coming together to create the next wave of probably the technology advancement in Philippines.
For our viewers who will be interested to take up the course, for example, will there be any qualifications? I mean, they should have what kind of knowledge for them to appreciate cloud computing and big data?
Right. I think I should talk both of them separately. Cloud computing covers several things.
Okay.
Cloud is a paradigm that constitutes platform, software, process, the whole works of it. So for cloud computing, there are different types of training, depending what is your background is, if you will. But on the big data and business analytics, again, it also, though we predominantly focus on the IT professionals, because most of our content and technology training and certification, by and large, for technologists. However, it is also for decision makers today, because at the end of the day, they are going to use these tools to make strategic decisions, to innovate new processes, new products, new systems in the companies. So we have, by and large, again, most of our training is focused on technology, but we do have certain courses that will also for CIOs and CTOs and CXOs, CEOs, if you will, to understand the implications and the impact of how business analytics can help them to make better strategic decisions.
I would just like to know what sets GSTF apart from the other companies who are actually offering business analytics and cloud computing courses also. What sets you apart?
A couple of things in all candor. Number one, in this part of the world, we were the pioneers and we continue to, and we have enormous expertise. Everyone who developed the content and delivers have nearly 20 years of industry experience and advanced degrees. Secondly, as I said earlier on, that we don't focus on any particular product. We are purely about technology, one. Secondly, open source, open data. These are the two key things.
Now, I would like to ask, you are partnering with Info Alchemy here in the Philippines.
Yes.
So I would like to know, how did the partnership start and what is the partnership all about?
Well, I think the partnership started a little 6 or 7, 8 months ago, if I can recall. Actually, it was started by one of my directors, and she had got in touch with Emil, the current president of Info Alchemy, or the president of Info Alchemy. And also, secondly, I had a chat with IBM, though they are a vendor, and a vendor that I used to work for, and Info Alchemy is a partner. And they did also recommend Info Alchemy as sincerely that as an organization, that has the potential to do real work on business analytics, because I think they are partners also of IBM. So these are the two, I mean, the key things, of course, skill sets and synergies, and to find
skill sets and expertise.
And synergies between the organizations.
Okay. So aside from training, you also offer certifications, right?
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
Indeed.
Certifications for what?
Well, it starts with associate, to specialist, to professional, to data scientist. It depends on the level of expertise and the process in the areas of cloud and big data and business analytics and Internet of Things.
Okay, so for everyone who's interested there, all they have to do is get in touch with Info Alchemy, right?
Indeed.
Okay.
Indeed.
Well, Dr. Anton, I would like to give you this opportunity to give your final message to our viewers. If there's something else that you want to tell them, here's your opportunity.
Wow. I think the world is ready for the next evolution of Internet. We are living on a global digital nervous system that is essentially going to connect everything that is possibly we can connect. By 2020, studies indicate that we are going to see about 200 billion devices connected. IPv6 has enabled that we can identify any object from anywhere. So in order to embrace the advances that we are seeing, that I would encourage the folks here to really pursue those who are involved, particularly in the IT industry, on business analytics and cloud computing.
So thank you very much, Dr. Anton, for visiting us, and I hope to have you again on the show the next time you're in the country.
It'll be my privilege, and thanks for having me here today.
Okay, thank you very much. That's Dr. Anton Ravindran, the President of Global Science and Technology Forum. For more of online, visit our website www.webtvn.net. This is Jerry Liao. Thank you for watching online. God bless.